Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
So we discussed up to the functions. We are discussing functions. The name of function is very just. For a function, you need to give the name. You need to use the keyword called fun. Fun is the keyword to describe a function, define a function. So this is the function. At is a function, these two parameters, and this is the function. Let me quickly copy this thing. See, I am calling the add function and passing 1, 2 as parameters. It adds that 1, 2 passes to nm, written as 3, 9. You can do like this. You can do something like that. You need to write a copy of each argument. You can do like this. Number. It is also one way of defining the function. Do not give number by default, it will take because we are passing 1 and 2. It reads as a number, but this is also one way, do not confuse it. So it is smart enough to know this is the number. Yes. So I have a question. So I see that output right now is 3, it does the calculation. And so, in this section, what makes the print? I do not know. What I am saying is that you did not create a variable to print the result. I thought somehow you have to say print add or. Here I am just passing two strings. It is a concatenation operator. Yes. So this is very simple. Fun begins from here, from the lambda, expressions from lambda. Here it is become little critical. But do not worry. Lambda means it is a function without a name. There is no name given to the function. Right. Let me take a simple example. This is a simple example. Actually, here in the body, given an expression like this. So the function is written in 2 plus 3, function written in 5, value is 5, 2 plus 3, 5. To call that function, we need to do this, close the arrow and open the arrow. So this is called unnamed function. There is no name function. This is called lambda. Unnamed function. Yeah, this is called lambda. There is no name. So anything. Every time you see two phrases like that or parentheses like that together. In lambda, it is a function. And if it has some name, it will be there. Otherwise, it is unnamed function. So if you see some good example, you can understand over here. This thing I think we discussed in the realization. So here there is no name to this function. And name returns endless. So what I am doing is I am assigning this function to a variable. Now variable becomes function. I am assigning a function to the variable. Now this variable becomes function. So this variable, I can pass the arguments. I am sorry I can. Oh. I can use this variable as a function now. Right. So this is just a lab. So that example you had. And so it looks like we define the function before the argument. Right. What is it? What is the screen that has? Yeah. So here we're saying that on the header we say variable color add. And it's equal to a function. Right? And the function has two arguments. Right. Two primaries n m. And we want m plus m. Right? So, and in the party we're calling n. The function programming, right? Yeah, and same. We can pass the functions as a value to the variables. That's right. I do that all the time. But what's different here is that the body has add, right? The body has the word add and 2 and 3, right? Inside the inode 2 and 3 are like some kind of a primary argument. Primary that we pass into the function, right? I understand that part. What's not clear is that the header, the add, is a variable. It's clear because it has a var, right? But the body, the word add within the followed by the. Followed by the adding the body is. Is that how you call a function? This one, right? That's the. I would just want to understand that. I understand 2 and 3. We're passing but the add and is that saying? So explain to me the connection between the. I know the first add on the header is that's a variable. I know that. Because it has a var add, right? But the second add in the body. How does he know? And is a variable, or how does he know it is a function? The word add. Let me do one thing. Copies. Playground. Yeah, it is a playground, right? Now I'm creating a variable. Something. This time you print the name. The name is whatever. This variable I'm printing. So yeah, if variable holds what it holds a string. Yeah, add variable holds what it holds. The function. Normal in this doesn't hold normal single integer. It's also function. Yeah, also function. You call this variable. We use this variable. We need to pass the arguments. Whatever that function is required. Therefore, we need to, pass this one. We need to call that way by passing the arguments. Then add and the body is acting like a function. Then it's not a variable anymore. Yes, exactly. A function. That's right. In other scripts I use it. So if I'm doing this, that means I'm calling a function called add to n. I'm passing this information so that it can does the calculation on. Return the result back, right? And so it looks like you know it. Assign the function to this variables. Therefore, it is a variable function. Now, which is a function? Its function now. Oh, so its function is a function that's passing and that's passing to a parameter into the. You know the function, call add. It is not storing the outcome of function. It's storing entire function only. It's storing the function, only storing. It's not storing outcome of function. You can do like this if you want to. Store outcome. What we can do is we can put something like this, like a var something. We can capture the outcome to some field. I like that. Add stores entire function. Add now it's no more a variable actually. It becomes function because the storing a function into the variable. Right. Oh, but add also the outcome. So this is really an interesting way of coding stuff. So in a way that's very simple, which is you're passing the add to this and 2 or 3. Right. It goes up there. And then it does that calculation. Then if you want to print, you could do that to print. Oh, I think I got it now. I'm sure you got outcome. Yeah, I need to practice more. Create an on a lambda function that does the same as a is or then function. These are what is the function. So it's not like a math. See here the create an is or num function which is use one parameter that returns to the fan or number or false. Yeah. This part function in the body of the username function. It ends. You know what the right. Yeah. Yeah. If it's so, it's divided by 2. Then is some of my past with us. if a number are 2. This function, I will pass a number. Number 1, 2 is equal to 1. Right? Activates by 2. It is even number. If it is 1 comes, it is a odd number, right? It's not a way. Yeah. That function. That is true number, right? He's on. The past, that is even number. It is even. Right. So this is a function. What is? We didn't call lambda function that the same as the username function. But you will take the size. The lambda should receive one parameter and return true. That parameter is odd number and false. So what we do to do with the lambda? So what I they say what I'm saying is a lambda. Yeah. It's not. And plus. So this time you are not going to use if statement. Use a lambda. This entire thing is lambda from here to here. So it was to number that. I think the first part is understand. So, oh, you just don't use if. What? Right. This thing. I can put somebody in there. I can't explain. I think I'm following this. The other. If you use on the lambda, I don't see. The only thing I see is that, dash greater sign. That's only thing. What makes this a statement? Irrelevant. I see this is a. What's lambda? Lambda is an enabled function. So if you see this arrow right, okay. This is before arrow is argument. Okay. The code after arrow is a body of the function. It's like this, right? So this part of it gets executed by taking parameters from the parameter list. Yeah. You call it lambda. Before I wrote it, it's a parameter list argument. The body. The thing is executed for a function. So for this there is no name because it's a lambda. Right. Okay. Lambda is assigned to the username variable. Now this variable holding the function. This variable has a function. Right. So yeah. Now instead of here what I can do is add name. Yeah. You need to use. Right. Yeah. Is in. So what is saying is what the value in this year. So now important thing is we need to define a lambda. How do you define a lambda? Right. Okay, so now we need to store the function. That variable. That's important. Always store the number. Okay, when we are defining. If you define lambda, it should be stored in a variable. So can you keep that line? Keep the line by the way it is. And create a new line. For lambda to compare with. New line. Yes. Just keep the new line. Keep that line the way it is. Maybe open a new line. No. Bring back. Go back again. So go to the end. Go all the way to the end and hit enter. All the way to the end. Hit enter. Then hit enter. Then let's clear the lambda. I want to see the difference. So now we are storing the function. We are not storing any variable because it is not valid. Whereas if you create like this something, yeah, some variable, it's a variable that puts this number is put. Is that like a lambda? The second one. Yeah, you want to use this way. How you pass variable. Just put a variable. Variable name. And variable is say no more is a normal variable. It's a function variable, right? It takes argument. So we need to pass that argument. So argument if you pass some 30, it is, how is it 30? Yeah. Number plus 1, it's incrementing by 1, right? So now we are storing the function. So line 3 is a lambda or normal expression. Line 3. This one. Yeah. This one is lambda. We are storing inside this variable. Is whereas this is also lambda. This lambda function is storing in a inc by one variable. Yeah. So they both lambda. Both are. These variables are holding lambdas. Variables that are holding lambda functions. Lambda function. I got it? Got. If you want to use those variables, we need to use those variables as a functions, not as a normal variable. Yeah, that's right. I think that's what my confusion was, but now it's clear that it's a lambda function, like a variable, like acting like a lambda. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. 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 Okay, we can pass a function as an argument to another function. Okay, so 1 second. So fill. So the first one is a function. So fill. Numbers and an index. And it's going to go to addnum. Then we say n, what will that n was? Yeah, the n make 2 equal 1. So go ahead, explain please. So in data we have higher order functions. For a function, we can pass another function as argument. See, this is filter as a function actually. It's a predefined function, it's a standard function. Yeah, filter. So it takes 2 arguments. First argument is an array. Second argument, we are passing a function as an argument. Right? It's no longer. We are not passing integer or string, the function. We are passing function as a second argument. So let me go back to here and let me go to this one. Lambdas are values just like strings, objects and unions. What is the lambda values? Values can be passed to functions and arguments as the related functions. So out of these 5, I need to know all numbers. Right? That's it. Oh. So numbers. For that, there is a standard function called filter is available in the data. It takes 2 arguments. First argument is the array what we want to filter. Here I want to filter this. Yeah. Second argument is a condition on what, in case of what condition you want to filter. This array. That condition I am passing as a lambda function. This condition passing lambda function. For example, let me take one. Take one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Taking this array, I am executing this condition. Okay. And he is going to index that right 1 through 5. That's crazy, man. Now I understand. And we say it's addnum and it's passing 1. Now, yeah. If you pass either a number of 1, it returns C. It returns 1, right? Because 1 mod 2 is equal to 1. Right. Okay. In this space. Right. In this space. What is 2 mod 2? It is not equal to 1. 2 mod 2 is 0 actually. So here what happens? This becomes false actually. Right. So it returns false. If it returns false, this 2 will not pass to the filter. It will not print. Angst. It gives the enjoyability of each number 1 through 5. Is it able to you know? So this one line 9 I understand. Now it moves to line 4. And line 4 it grabs the number 1. And we are saying n equal to whatever that number was. By 2 equal to 1. So here where is the which line prints the output? One through 5. What happens is you are passing the same input, right? And what this returns? Put them in the index. And it's passing one at a time. Yeah, okay. 2 is odd num. Right. Now assume 1 entered to this function. It's become 1, right? So if this is an executes, what it returns? It returns true or false. So 1 divided by 2 is false. First 1 will go right, 1 will go. 2 is 1. 1 mod 2 is equal to 1. Yeah, 1 is 1 mod 2 is equal to 1. So is equal to 1. 1 is equal to 1 means true, right? Okay, yeah. That's true. This entire thing from here to here returns true. Returns true means this one will go to the output. 1 is a 0. Okay, I see. And second 2 will go. 2 mod 2 is equal to 0. 0 is equal to 1. Is not equal to 1. Yeah, it is false. So 2 will go to the output. When 3 will go. 3 mod 2 is equal to 1. It satisfies like 5 will go. Therefore, we get this result. So in the filter operator write the filter is a function. Array and the second is the condition. If condition is true, right? That element is eligible. If condition is false, that element is not eligible. That is the meaning of it. Yeah, so only it is going to display or output, only it is only going to print whatever the filter, whatever meet the filter. Here are some more examples. Same example. Filter this given array so it contains numbers that are greater than 3 using a lambda. So I think I added this. So filter payload and index and negative greater than 3. Filter is a function, right? This is a payload actually. This is a payload. And what my requirement is, in this payload, I need to filter items which are greater than 3. 0 is not eligible. Minus 30 is eligible. So only those items, those are greater than 3. I need to filter it. So the word n here, the letter n, here it is the data in the payload. This is the first time it is 0, second time 5, third 30 minus 30. Likewise, first time 0 will come over here. As 0 is equal to 0 greater than 3 false, right? Go to the output section and 5 will come over here. 5 greater than 3 is true. This becomes true. So I could use any letter like element n. I don't have to use n. You can put anything. It's also fine. Okay. So that's what the filter expects. Okay here. So now I'm putting everything in the payload, in the filter. I could be more specific if I want it, right? Like a payload does something whatever. That is right. But still say that, for example, in a different example. This one. I understand you're putting a filter everything in the payload, right? Yeah. In another example. For example, if you're filtering like a string or something, you could use payload. Then whatever that JSON is, say for example, you're looking for a person, last name starts with M, for example, right? And you can do filter payload. The last name, right? Let me put that. Whatever you said, put it here. Like this, okay. So we can say here filter like payload last name, right? Yeah, payload. And say for example like that last name. Oh, payload, okay. Alright. So the condition is we say like alright, last name. The index. I don't know. Wait a second. Last name starts with E. First name. Last name starts with E. Okay. Got it. To resolve reference of that. Oh, that last name. Oh, maybe do double quotation on the E. On. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. The format was not correct. Oh. You do not restart back to command. Filter each item and put them in index. Are we saying that if the item that last name starts with E, show display? Alright. I think, yeah, this is really good. I need to practice, but I think it's a very useful function. We can also see the same example. What is good? This case, right? What's the requirement is? The price is greater than 5. So the price is 4. We want the item which price is greater than 5. So item here index. Then we say item that last, item that price. Then greater than 5. Yes. Actually, this is the lambda. The internal of the filter is set, this parameter right. Yeah. Comma index. This is from lambda from stacks. Oh. Filter is actually. What is filter here? Function. Filter is a function. 3 different functions for the data. It's 2 arguments actually, right? I think that's the thing that I need to remember. So, sort of filter like this with this filter accepts 2 parameters, 2 arguments. Is it? Yeah, 2 right. Right? What are those 2 arguments? What is the first argument? First one is the item which is the list. Oh no, not here. Not here actually, you see. Filter actually accepts the first argument is the array. Okay? And the second argument is the condition. The condition. This is the condition. What condition? The price should be greater than this condition. So this condition is excluded on the array. What is this array? And we get the, I like how you put it right now. This is good. This is, you can also write like this, right? Filter, then the source or whatever the input is right. Plus the condition. First item, first argument is the array. Collection. Array, yeah. The condition. On what page you want to filter that array? The first. So item index greater than 5. Wow, this is good. I like how it's written right now than before. In the data, this is one way. Some people like in this manner. Some people put this in the front. This first argument you can pass as a, yeah, this is like a more complex, more like advanced way. But the previous way is much simpler to understand. Yeah, sometimes. But I get it right now. So, no matter where you put this one, you can. This function is act as a, oh, got it now? I'll do an example so that you can get an idea. function as an array. So later you filter with the functions. We will pass a condition right, condition lambda. The same one we discussed in fixed notation. Fixed notation means CR function name. Argument 1 first. We will pass arguments to function right. In this equation, first we put argument 1, then function name and argument. Like I described over there. Argument 1 function name. And this is our year. Yeah, but in fixed notation. So, like when you do an exam certification, they ask you all that. Or they want to ask like, what is the scenarios? And they will expect the answer for the scenarios. Some kind of small problems. Next, we see about the connectivity of our two different target systems. Like I said, database GM and system and Salesforce. But can we do that? Can we do that though, while we build in a project? But I suggest you do examples for each use case. You want to connect to database, for example, how to connect to JMS and how to connect, how to send the message to queue. If you practice those things, then we build the project. That would be good. Sounds good. Alright, we'll do that then. So this next one. So you're saying, learn how to connect to the JMS? Yeah. First database and JMS. Database and JMS are very simple. You can do. Maybe we do this Saturday and Sunday. We'll do the first project. So I recommend both of all these examples once study this one. Yeah. Any questions, any doubts, email me on the WhatsApp. You can email me your questions. So I can respond back right away with your clarification. Yeah. Or else the solution for many problems. So you can quickly finish up your practice. I can say now, these three are important. I think training is quite obvious. But if you feel, however, you can come back with the questions that you also find. Want to quickly wrap it up, or else we want training. Also, I can have you to provide, to discuss these examples for all these things. Excellent. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.